Did you know that the original Mortal Kombat game was developed in 10 months by a team of just 4 people? And that for the first 6 months, the game didn't even have a name. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode number 22. My name's Gareth Bridie. I'm your host today, and I'm joined on my virtual opposite me, Mr. Neil Watson. How you
opposite
doing,
you?
Well,
Virtual
there's only
opposite you.
There's only one of us. Well, there's 2 of us, really.
Well, I could be on your right and I could be on your left.
Well, I think if it was just me and you, I can imagine us in a virtual, in a real room, and you'll be sitting opposite me with a mic between us in a pub, chatting.
Yeah.
We're not joined by a third today because one of our member, James, is not very well. He's poorly, so big shout out to James. So he had to drop out. So it's just me and Neil.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Now, last time it was just me and Neil. We had the Xbox Series 1X to talk about. We did a special. You can still listen to that on the podcast, can't they?
Yep.
And this time around, what's happened? Not a lot, I don't think.
Well, apart from everything being cancelled and everything still being delayed and everything being held back, not a lot has happened, really.
But we have got to talk about, I think we're going to just go straight into the coronavirus and its effect on a few major events. And let's start, as you probably all know, E3 has been officially cancelled now, hasn't it? I think yesterday, wasn't it, when they said it officially? The rumours are around for the last couple of days, but then they cancelled it, didn't they?
It was obvious, really, wasn't it? Is it in June? I think it's in June, isn't it? And there's no way that they could go ahead with something as big as that when the likes of GDC and Google I/O and stuff like that have already been cancelled.
Yeah.
And the coronavirus stuff is just going to ramp up even more. So, you've got to kind of take the plunge and get in there early and say, no, sorry, we're going to have to cancel it this year.
Okay. Now, I'm going to do some wild speculation here. And I'm just going to... Was E3... Now, PlayStation dropped out of E3, before any of this happened. Yeah. And a few other companies started to drop out as well, didn't they? Before the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Do you think this was the final push, or was it completely done on the coronavirus? Is this the end of E3? That's my question. Or do you think you imagine it to go on next year? Is it too big enough to stop?
In its previous guise or its current guise, I'd say yes, it probably is. I think the virus is... I don't want to say it's good timing. It's not good timing, obviously. No. But something had to happen with E3 anyway. It's been on the wane for a while. I haven't had an awful lot of anticipation or enthusiasm or anything like that for it for a couple of years. And I certainly wouldn't be going. I couldn't think of anything worse, to be honest. But yeah, so it needs to change. And maybe this year, letting them cancel it, letting them go... They said they're going to go digital only?
Xbox and Ubisoft have. So they definitely said they're going to do it on a digital show of their stuff. I mean, for Xbox, it's huge because they had the whole... It was their E3, wasn't it, really? It was their E3 probably to launch the new console, to launch all the new exclusives.
Yeah.
It's probably where they were going to do their launch. So
but why do they need to do that at E3? They can just do that any day of the week, whenever they want. They could do it on a Sunday for all they...
Well, this is my question. This is my question. For us, we're not in Los Angeles, and we're at home in London. So there is a thing about when we watch E3, we watch it on our Xbox, we watch it on our laptops, or we watch it on the TV, and we watch a live show. Do you need that live show element? I mean, really, I'm going to be really... This is upset a lot of people. All I'm interested in is the clips of the games. I'm not really interested in watching a show.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So, like you said, you could just do. I think Xbox will do that. Maybe they have a presenter in a TV studio, or maybe they will have a kind of TV show, just one person or a few things in there, just go through all their what they want to show. Same with Ubisoft.
It'll be interesting, won't it? The ones I feel sorry for are the smaller indie guys that, you know, like you go to any show and you're wandering around, and it happened to us at what's it called, EGX last year. We were wandering around. We stumbled upon Aero 2 and the Madfellows guys. Didn't have a clue that that game was coming out. Didn't have a clue that they were going to be there. Comes out one of the games of the show, for me at least.
Yeah.
So those ones and those smaller guys that don't have the PR reach, and they can't send out blasts to hundreds of different sites or whatever to get their news covered. They're the ones that's going to hit. But I think Xbox and PlayStation, whatever. I know PlayStation won't go anyway, but the big names, it makes no difference. They can do their own thing. They're big enough to do that.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's also remembering about that kind of, you know, journalists, not just journalists, but games developers who have paid a lot of money already, probably. It's interesting. Do they get their money back? Have they bought their pitches already? Have they booked hotels? Have they booked flights? All that thing.
I would think the hotel and flights thing is probably out of E3's hands, isn't it? But for a specific stall or a pitch or something at the show, there's no reason why insurance can't come into it and they get their money back, really. It's the way with everything, though, isn't it? The Formula One race in Australia has been cancelled today. They're all out there. All the teams are out there. The fans are probably out there already by now. Everybody is out there, and it's cancelled 3 days before the race, a day before practice starts. So,
and it's not only just it's things, you know, all the way down to kind of the guy who's got a hot dog stand, who's paid for that pitch and got all his stuff on that place. Thinking that would be this is going to be my way of cleaning up. You know, this is going to be my 6 months worth of money from this. You know, and all that stuff. It's really, you know.
There's got to be some people like that probably live off the back of E3. Like you say, there's probably some guy out the front, out the side of the door, selling his hot dogs. He's thinking, oh, here come all the gamers. I'll sell 100 of these. And what's he going to do now?
Oh, a bit depressed now, Neil.
It is, but unfortunately, the way things are going at the moment with the virus, it was inevitable, wasn't it, really, that it was going to happen. And I'm kind of glad that they said now, what are we in, March, April, May, June, 4 months ahead. Yes, it's not happening.
And it might now force the hand of Xbox and PlayStation to, you know, it's in their hands now they're not waiting for an event to announce these consoles as well. They might change what they're doing. It might. But again, the whole situation around the globe at the moment, it might hold those back. It might delay the consoles. Well, that's my next. There's my next one. Is what it would. Do you think there could be possibly a delay? It's all about manufacturing, isn't it? Which is the big. Yeah. There's got to be some knock-on effect that's happening. Because someone said to me, it's about production facilities, and if they feel it's going to last through to June, they're going to have to suddenly swap to somewhere else, like now. But they need to make that decision probably now, which they're probably doing. But where do they swap to? Well, there's a thing about Taiwan, because Taiwan's got the lowest amount of in cases of infection. I mean, Taiwan... at the moment, it's got but they were really on it, Taiwan. They were like, from day one, they were like at the airports getting on. I think they've had 4 cases. It's ridiculous. Something really small from day one. So I think maybe they're looking at that. But you're right. We don't know what's going to happen in a few months' time. Yeah, but I don't know. And also, economically as well, it's a big change, isn't it? You're suddenly going. We know it's going to be a little bit rough now, don't we? Probably economically with the stock markets and everything. It's whether that. Well, you look at the FTSE; it's gone through the floor, isn't it? So the lowest since 1987. Yeah. So all that does that affect? Does it affect Microsoft? Does it affect PlayStation? Does it affect? We won't know.
Yeah, it's all got to have a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
And it's still early days as well, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know it's been around in China for, what, 2 months now, is it?
Yeah.
But here in the UK, it's only really been kicking off in the last probably 2 weeks, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It brings us to the next one, which is we're meant to be going to this, which is Resd, which is the UK, and that is
EGX Resd.
Yeah, and that's really kind of for small developers a lot of the time, isn't it? When you go there at Tobacco Docks in London, and we're meant to be going.
Well, you're going. I'm not.
Are you not going? Why are you not going?
I told you, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, I may turn up if it's on. I may turn up for a day. But, yeah, sorry, Gareth. I was meant to tell you that.
My God, I planned everything.
You were going to be there. Richard was going to be there. I don't need to be there. It's
you do
fine.
need to be there.
It's not a problem.
We're going to do a live podcast if you knew how to do it.
I was only going to turn up for that. But, Saturday evening.
That's it. Yeah, from the little press place. Will it happen? Will it happen?
Well, it's what date is it? 20-something of March.
27th, 28th, 29th, maybe. I think.
So 10 days away. Is that what we are?
No. I think it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
Still 2 weeks away. I can't believe they haven't said anything yet.
No.
I'm sure they've probably been holding out to see what the Prime Minister said today about closing stuff down, and seeing as he hasn't now closed schools and whatnot, I guess they probably hold on a bit longer.
Yeah.
But because of the event and what it is, because it's EGX Resd, which is like the smaller side of EGX, which covers most of the indie games, and you have big brands there. You have Team 17, but they're still classed as an indie publisher. But a lot of these indie developers, they're not all UK based. I know you interviewed a guy, I can't think of his name now. Thomas, was it? Was he?
Oh yeah, Thomas. Yeah, he was the Falconeer.
Yeah, am I right in saying he was Brazilian?
No, he was. He might be Brazilian. I thought he was Finnish.
Okay,
I think he's Dutch.
From one side of the world to the other.
Yeah.
So he's either Brazilian, Dutch, or Finnish. I can't remember what he is now. Anyway, I'm sure he's not based in the UK at all times.
No, definitely not, because he flew in that morning.
So if he was coming into Resd, he is going to have his hotel booked. He's going to have his flights booked.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that, again, what I've just been saying about the smaller guys, those are the ones that is going to hit. And he would probably have been there as well, because it's Wide Productions that are hosting that. They would be at EGX Resd.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
But
I cannot see that event going on. I can't see it.
I can't see it going on. I just don't. I mean, we're getting emails all the day, aren't we? I mean, we're getting emails saying, come see my game. That happens all the time. People are doing that. But yeah, it seems really unlikely. Because it's quite, in a tobacco dock, you're quite squeezed in. It's not like going to, when we went to EGX and it was like, in the Excel, which is this huge kind of, no one's ever been, this almost like warehouse of a building, isn't it?
It's like a hangar, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just huge.
And it can get quite busy and quite packed. But in tobacco docks, it's a much smaller kind of environment. So you're in little kind of containers. So it's a much more, you wouldn't be able to have that 1 meter separation that everyone's talking about.
And if you're over 7 foot, you hit your head on the ceiling. So.
Oh dear. Okay, so that Res might not. We'll see. We'll find out next week. We'll know a bit more, I think. Other things, the esports they've decided to cancel all the Overwatch League events. So esports is gone. That's another big money earner. Did you hear that? You know the game Plague Inc.
Plague Inc. Yeah. One of our favourite games. Yeah. Oh no! Sorry, that was the other one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Plague Inc. Yeah, I have heard of it.
Which is like a plague simulator. You're kind of like have this plague, and you have to kind of control all the countries and responses. That's been taken down from Apple's App Store in China after people were finding it was very popular again.
I wonder why.
Everyone was getting it. It's almost like a little heads up. It's like this is how I can survive. It's like that. I think I did a fact a couple of weeks ago, like we did at the start of the podcast, about World of Warcraft, which is true. They had this glitch, if you hadn't listened to it, in World of Warcraft in 2005, where basically people's characters were getting infected, and what they wanted is the game tried to isolate them to stop it, the glitch getting affected to other people.
All right,
and scientists studied that as a way of looking at pandemics, the way the game responded. Yeah,
you were on point, weren't you?
I was on point. Yeah, and then we just got shortages. Like, we know the Switches got some shortages, definitely in the Japanese market for a long time.
Yeah.
You can never get a Switch here now, so it's going to be interesting times ahead.
Yeah, and going back, actually, now you said that, going back to the console releases, so when Series X and PS5 come out, they're going to be like bloody hen's teeth, aren't they? So, but if they don't delay them, launch date, I don't know, just pick a day, November 5th, you're going to go into your game and there's going to be none in there. I mean, your game store, and there's going to be nothing in there, because it will be pre-orders only, and probably people that pre-order it on the day that the pre-orders go live, and after that it's going to be a struggle.
Wow.
Hey, watch this space, see what happens, really, isn't it? But then that's the case with life at the moment as a whole.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
It really is.
We're not being all gloom and doom, but it's a very strange time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you feel, if you're listening to this out of the UK, we've got very different responses. I think we know people in Italy at the moment when they're just shutting down everything.
Yeah.
Shops,
and Ireland have closed all their schools today. Well, from tomorrow. And
we're not quite doing that yet. We're kind of doing it because it's so. Whether that's kind of right or wrong, we'll find out very quickly.
I'd like to think that I trust them, and there's some very clever people that know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for us just to sit here and spout off and say, "Oh no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong."
No,
you've got to take their expert opinion, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not like they're just sticking their finger up in the air and seeing which way the wind's going.
But also they're taking into effect how it affects the economy. So they've got to take that into account. Whatever you say, when you shut everything down, everything stops, and money doesn't come in, and people haven't got work. So, like we know, as people who are self-employed, it's really hard. Even though you can get, help, but it would take a long time. So it's about, they don't want to do that. They want to keep everyone working as long as possible as well. Not in an evil way, I don't think. In a way of going, you don't want people not having money, and that includes everyone. So they're trying to go, do we have to get to this point yet? Is it completely necessary? And they're getting advice. So it's hard. It's hard.
It is, yeah. It's way beyond what we know and way over our heads.
Yeah. Well, we know we might be playing the same game again and again for like 4 years.
That is the thing, yeah. We might just be sat at home on our sofa, in our pants, with a controller in our hands, playing games 24/7.
Train sim. See if I can go 24/7, for the fourth time. Done everything. I'm going to go back to it.
That's the good thing about the gaming industry, though, because in a way, we can carry on doing what we're doing. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, everything we do is online now, and rarely do we have to see anybody else, come into contact with anybody else. That's why I like it so much.
We're the people of the future.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, talking about games, what have you been playing this week? What's been going on? What have you been playing, Neil? Anything fun?
Well, I haven't been on for a little while.
Yeah.
And Richard's been standing in. And so I've had a little while to play a few games. And I played Tony Stewart's Sprint Car Racing, which is, it's like NASCAR,
right?
But on dirt. And it's got Tony Stewart. If you don't know who Tony Stewart is, he's like an iconic NASCAR racer who's set up his own company, and they deal with sprint racing on short little dirt ovals. So it's basically just you get in a little car and you go round and round in circles forevermore, basically. Much like you do in NASCAR. And people will be shouting at me now for saying that. No, we don't just do that in NASCAR. But, NASCAR's go around in circles.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that, and I reviewed that, and it's all right, actually, for a fun little racer.
How much is it?
It's £25, I believe, which isn't too bad.
So are you just going around in circles, but instead of a track, you're on dirt?
Yeah. I know, it doesn't really sell it, does it? But that's basically what you do. It's come from...
Can I ask a question? Why haven't they... Can't they afford the track? Is it just... are they giving up on the track?
No, like Speedway, motorbike racing on dirt.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Speedway used to be massive in the UK back in the mid-80s, probably.
Yes.
Then it's kind of tailed off a bit. Anyway, it's basically Speedway, but in cars, in kind of little tiny cars.
Yeah.
And you go around in circles on dirt. So it's been made by Monster Games, and they made the NASCAR Heat games for the last 3 or 4 years. So they know how to go around in circles. And they've come down to this. And even though NASCAR didn't particularly do well, it wasn't reviewed very well either. This one's actually more fun.
Oh, okay.
Probably because the races are so short. Like, a lap takes 12 seconds.
Wow.
And you can limit it to, I think, a minimum of about 6 laps. So a couple of minutes, you're done. And then you go on to the next one. And even though all the tracks are oval, they've all got slight kind of oddities and variations to them. And some of them are banked and some of them are flat.
Okay. Is there a campaign? Like a career mode, I mean?
There's a big career, yeah. Loads of customization in that as well. And so you buy your car, and then every race you do, your car slowly deteriorates. So the money you earn from winning a race or coming second or whatever, you can then keep it and buy more cars or buy another team at a kind of a higher spec, or you can start throwing that money into your engines and your tyres and putting better tyres on. So you're then more competitive and you earn more money. And then you put that money into the more tyres, and then you earn more money.
You gotta.
You're not just going around in circles on the track. You're going around in a big vicious circle.
A vicious circle, buy more tyres, and update in the car.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been doing. I've just been repairing tyres and engines.
God.
Over and over again. But like I say, it's quite good fun.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, I think. And I like my motorsport anyway, and I like my racing games. I wasn't overly sure I was going to like this, but it's much better than I thought.
Good. So, and that's out at the moment, is it?
Yeah, that came out February. So, yeah.
All right, okay. Fine.
That's out now.
Good. I had a quick go, so I haven't done a much in-depth version. I had a go. I haven't really played much, because I've been playing, I think I talked about it last week, what's it called? Bliss or Bless? I can't even remember. Bless Unleashed.
Bless Unleashed.
Bless Unleashed. I've been playing that all bloody week because I'm for the review.
That came out today in free-to-play form. So.
Yes. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I'm writing the review at the moment. But I had a go at Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I think that's what it's called. Yep. And I did a Let's Play of that, which should be out the end of the week or maybe Monday. It's a beautiful game. It's really lovely. And it's a platform of, if you haven't played the first, which is the Blind Forest, I think, you get this little Ori character and you're using platforming, you get different skills, you can get different abilities as you go along, like double jump, you have little things that you can choose to have skill, like you might get an ability that you have the choice of 3 to start with at the top. You might get the ability to deal damage, but you double damage, but you take double damage back. If that makes sense. So you can choose to have that, or you can choose to have an ability that makes you stick to walls, which is really helpful. So it has lots of kind of different ways of playing, but also it has this kind of amazing kind of open world that for a platformer is a bit daunting, first of all. Because it gives you quests and goes, you can go here, but you have this open world and you have to kind of, you can take different paths to go there. And of course, the more abilities you do, the more you unlock. Now, when I played the first one, I didn't really get on with it. I don't think I got as far because I thought it was too hard for me. There was bits of it I just found really hard.
The first one was hard,
yeah,
but it was bloody brilliant.
It was
really good. Yeah, I remember reviewing it. I think I probably gave it at least 4.5 out of 5, maybe a 5 out of 5 if I remember rightly.
Well, this one's got an easy mode, which I am playing, and it's made it much better for me. And I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Who's doing a review for us?
William has just done his review. It will be live in about an hour's time.
Oh, I think he likes it, doesn't he? That's all I'm saying.
Would you like me to spoil it for you?
Don't spoil it. I think he's going to give it a 5, isn't he? But don't say anything.
Hang on a minute. You can't say don't. Then ask a leading question straight after that.
Do you want to tell? Do you want to say what it is?
He's given it 5 out of 5.
Ah, there you go. I think it is. It's beautifully animated as well. I think it's just stunning as well. It's really lovely. The storytelling's great.
Yeah, I'm very glad you mentioned the art style as well, because he opens his review with talking about the art style. So yeah, it will be live in about an hour. So by the time you're listening to this podcast, it's definitely live.
Great.
And definitely go and read it, because it is a brilliant review.
Good. William's review. Brilliant. Lovely. What else have you been playing, Neil?
I've also been playing a little game which is out tomorrow, or again, by the time you listen to this podcast, it's out now, called Roundguard. I'd heard nothing about this game until I got a press blast from the PR company behind it, and they sold it to me on the fact that it was inspired by Peggle mechanics and packaged in a cute mystery dungeon.
Right.
That's all you need. The word Peggle. I don't know anybody who's ever played games and has ever played Peggle that didn't like Peggle.
No, it's true. It's true.
The first one and the second one, I can't remember what it was called. It was called something different, wasn't it? Peggle 2.
Peggle Unchained.
No, it wasn't. Peggle, was there a Masters Edition or something like that, maybe? I can't remember. But it works a bit like that. So you're a little character and you choose between 3 different types, like a warrior, a mage, and a rogue type characters.
Yeah.
And you're, as the name implies, you're round.
Right.
And you're in a little cannon at the top, just like in Peggle. Oh. And you get fired down, and you have to hit all the chests of the chests of gold.
Right.
Which are like the pegs in Peggle. Some of them are enemies, and so as you hit them, you've got much like what you said just a minute ago about a game that I can't remember. Whereas as you hit something, they hit back, so you need a specific kind of attack and defense number.
Right.
If you hit them too many times, you die. But there are also health potions that you can hit to pick up extra health and extra mana. And you've got special effects and special spells. Is
this like a card-based game with that attack and defense? You know, when there's
No. You'll start the game. It's a roguelike type game as well, so slightly different to Peggle. And you work your way through these dungeons to get to the end, fight the big boss at the end, and you're done, and then you start again. But you start with like an attack of 5, and there'll be a rat that's got health of 10, so you have to hit him twice to take him down. But every time you hit him, he's also got an attack, so his attack might be 10 as well, which will take your health down. So you have to work out which ones you're going to hit first, or if you're going to get some health potions. And
this game sounds like the maddest game I've ever seen. I'm trying to get my head around. There's a rat.
It's cool. Yeah, it's Peggle.
It's Peggle with rats. Magic rats.
It's Peggle with enemies.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. And so basically, instead of hitting in Peggle, you had to hit specific colours to clear a level. This one, you have to hit the enemies to clear the level.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
What have you given it? Can I say?
I haven't reviewed it yet.
Oh, okay. But you're liking it?
I'm liking it. There's a few little issues, but I'm liking it. Yes. Yeah.
Now it's still quite slow, isn't it? It's still not much stuff out. Bits and bobs. It was my birthday on Saturday. Thank you very much. And I got someone always gives me PlayStation vouchers, which is I play more on Xbox, but it's good. I never turn it down.
Again, you got some for Christmas as well.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, and this time I bought Death Stranding, so I'm a bit late to the game. This came out in November, But I was kind of curious. So I thought I'd buy it, and do you know what? There's two things. I really like it. It got really slammed by everyone, but I quite like it. But the way it looks and the cutscenes and everything else is just like, it did make me think this is a little hint of what that next generation will be like in the way it's put together and the cinematics. And just the kind of, it's barren, the place that you wander around, but it's beautiful. You know, the rocks and the landscape, and it has that. You know, I think you reviewed Metal Gear 5, didn't you?
Yeah, a few years back. Yeah,
I mean, he is
Phantom Pain.
Yeah, he is balmy. That guy. He's a mad genius in a weird way. He does create these kind of weird and wonderful, strange worlds. But I go, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Why was it slammed then? Because I know it was really anticipated, wasn't it? Really highly.
Yeah, because basically...
Is that because it looked good, though? Because it does look good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. You can't...
And people always look at visuals and they say, oh, yeah, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't.
No, the problem is, which people hated, you basically are a sort of postman, right? So you, in a sort of like post-apocalypse world, right? And you've got this luggage that you have to sort of distribute around your whole body. So you've got all this stuff. You can have stuff on your back and stuff on your arms, and then you have to kind of walk across terrible landscapes, really rocky landscapes that are full of obstacles. And if you fall over, you've ruined that luggage. Yeah. So you could be walking for a while, and it keeps, like, the best button goes, you're leaning too far to the right, so you have to go the other way, lean to the left. You're leaning too far to the left, go to the right. And then, and then you might have a mountain to climb up, so you put ladders on there to climb up, or you put you want to get down an obstacle, you get a rope thing that you carry on your back and go down. So you get a mission, say you need to deliver this stuff over there, and then you can look at your map and go, what's the best route through this without me having to kill myself on some of this rugged landscape. And at the same time, you've got these things that are trying to kill you. There's rogue people around, but also these kind of weird entities that are trying to kill you that you have to kind of, when they come, is basically stay still and put your hand over your mouth to not breathe. You
can't actually kill them?
Not yet. I think you can later on. But that's the problem. I think for the first half of the game, this is what everyone's talking about, you don't have those abilities. You have to walk. I think later on you get a bike or sort of like a car transport that makes it a whole lot easier. And I think you can start to shoot people and start to kill people. And I'm already where I am, because I'm quite early on. It's like you can see I've got different armor outfits lined up in my sort of room I go to every time. And I can see, but they're not unlocked yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's why people hate it. I think for the first half of the game, first few hours, people are like, this is awful. I'm just walking and trying to keep my balance.
Do you have a Royal Mail outfit that you can put on?
No. Wish you could, though. That'd be really good. But I learned...
And a Postman Pat van.
That would be very good. Maybe there's some PC... I think it's coming out on PC soon. So maybe there'd be some PC mods. I was looking at it today, actually. Yeah, I was looking at it today, because 505 Games are pushing out on PC 20th of June, I think it was. Oh. So there you go. That's what's going to happen. Loads of mods. Postman Pat mods. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. I've only ever played one game where you have to be a postman, and that was Yoku's Island Express from Team 17 last year or the year before. Yeah. And that's like a pinball physics type game. That sounds more fun, to be honest. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, you know me, I love a walking sim. So the idea of just walking through a landscape really appeals to me. So, and I've learnt a little cheat that I kind of did, because you have to kind of constantly balance. If you just walk with your fingers down L2 and R2, you don't fall over. You just keep going. So I'll just do that and sort of like put some music on. The music's brilliant. The music on, and that's it. Gareth's tips of the week.
Tips of the week, there you go.
To not fall over in Death Stranding, hold L1 and L2 and just sorted.
And that's my tip of the week for a game that's 4 months old.
And on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine. Next week we'll have a proper tip. Maybe it could be a new feature we do.
Yeah.
Gareth's tips of the week.
Tips of the week. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. We'll think of something.
We'll think of something.
Something better than that.
Something like that. Maybe from a PC game 8 years ago. Tips.
Yeah.
Cheat modes for Halo. Right, news. Now, we haven't got much in the news at the moment, have we? Because it's all Corona or cancellations.
Yeah.
There are a couple of... Sorry, go on, Neil. What are you say?
There is a new Tour de France cycling game coming out, though, so that's good.
Wow. When's that coming out?
Yeah. Well, it got announced today, and it's coming on the 4th of June on PlayStation 1 and Xbox... PlayStation 1, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then the Pro Cycling Manager edition will hit PC. And it's always annoyed me slightly, because, as you obviously know, and everybody that listens to this knows, I like riding my bike a lot. And so I like the Tour de France games, or I like the idea of the Tour de France games. And they're always a little bit disappointing. They've got slightly better over the years, but they're nothing that kind of replicate the sport as a whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it annoys me that Tour de France 2020 is coming out on Xbox One and PS4, and then Pro Cycling Manager, which is all the good bits, basically, because you manage the team, only comes out on PC. And I don't understand why they do that.
Yeah.
Because we've got keyboard and mouse support on Xbox One, and I know not everybody has got it, but if you buy something like the Razer Turret for Xbox One, which is the keyboard and mouse specifically made for Xbox, it's so easy. What's that? Are you being beamed up by aliens or something?
What was that? Could you hear something?
I thought you were being beamed up by aliens. Okay.
Was it like I think it was a bike going past. It sounded like, woo, he's gone.
He's the only one without the coronavirus. We'll have him.
Yeah, we'll do tests on him. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the Pro Cycling Manager bit is the fun bit in my eyes, because the actual riding bike is so monotonous in game.
Yeah,
it's basically just hold one button and press A as fast as you can for sprinting.
Sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah. But,
do you every year like hope before you get the new game? Do you think this is going to be the one? It's going to be brilliant this year.
You will not believe my excitement. I don't do a lot of excitement, but you will not believe my excitement when my inbox pinged up with this today. And there's an article up on site, so have a look at that.
Right. Good.
But I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be it. And the announcement trailer looks pretty decent as well. Okay, much the same as last year.
Yeah.
And the year before. And the year before. And the year before. But yes, fingers crossed, this is the year that Tour de France 2020
is going to be the one.
The game for me, yes.
If they cancel the Tour de France event live, would they cancel the game?
Which they will.
Yeah. In support.
Well, that's the problem. I think the Giro d'Italia is on next month, maybe.
Right.
I don't know if it's been cancelled yet, but with Italy the way it is, Christ.
Yeah,
I cannot see that going ahead at all. And they've cancelled quite a few cycling events already this year.
Yeah.
So I would think the Italian one is really, really dodgy. Possibly the Tour by the time it comes round, end of July, beginning of August. It might be a bit better, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, everything's just up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can't say one way or the other, really. So
yeah.
But if it does get cancelled, at least we can play the game.
We can be there in the comfort of our home, virus free, like in a hazmat suit, playing Tour. And you can play with what? Do you say? Your light thing.
I'll sit in my lycra and play it.
That's a thought. That's a thought for the listeners out there.
Yep.
Yeah. The only other bit of news that piqued my interest, and it might not, there's nothing else, it was the Cyberpunk people. Who are they? What are they going? What's the developers of Cyberpunk?
I'm not going to help you out here.
Let's call them Belucas. The Belucas developers company.
CD.
That's it. CD UK? Is that
For somebody else to remember lines and stuff, you're terrible.
CD. I can't. What is it? CD something.
Project Red.
Oh yeah, Project Red. Yeah. They announced that they're going to do another Witcher game. I think they announced it yesterday. So the next game after they've just when Cyberpunk hits the shelves, they're going to do another Witcher game, which will please a lot of people and please me. I love the Witcher 3.
Will that be called The Witcher 4?
Well, they said it wouldn't. It would be called something else. They might do a prequel. I don't know what they're going to do. We just don't know. Are you up to date with The Witcher?
Zero.
Have you watched the Netflix series?
On Netflix? Yeah. No, I heard that you carried on and
I got back into it. I slagged it off first of all, but I actually went all the way through and I enjoyed it in the end.
Yeah, I got to the second episode.
Right.
Stopped watching it. Then I heard that somebody were talking on telly or on radio, and they said that it gets really good 2.5 episodes in. I'm thinking, I only need another half an episode. But I haven't got round to it. Yeah. And instead I watched a whole season of Drive to Survive, which is a look at the F1 season from last year. Okay. And that released on February 28th, and it's like 10 episodes, 12 episodes maybe.
And you watched a whole lot of that?
I watched a whole lot, basically back to back over 2 nights.
Yeah.
Just because I love F1 so much. And that was amazing. I love that.
Drive to Survive.
But now I've kind of got nothing to watch. I'm still watching Titans.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe I'll go and watch The Witcher. I don't know.
Give it another go.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Let's also, now, I'm going to just mention, we'll talk about it more next week. There's a thing called Game Stack Live coming on March the 17th and 18th that you can watch. I think you can watch on Mixer. And it's like a game developers forum. And they have lots of panel discussions about the industry. And the one big thing they're going to have on the Tuesday is Xbox Series X and Project X Cloud and the new chapter in gaming. So have a look at that. So we can chat about that next year to see what they discuss. But maybe we'll learn a bit more about the Xbox Series X. And our old friend Ray Tracing.
Have you used? Oh yeah, Ray Tracing.
He's back. He's mentioned Ray Tracing.
Yeah, are they dragging him in specially?
He is. He's doing a thing going, hello, my name's Ray Tracing. I'm age 42, recently divorced. Looking for the love of my life. Yeah, he's going to give us some hints.
Yeah. And what's his speciality? Is it mesh shading?
Mesh shading. That's his brother. Mesh shading. They go out together on a night in Swindon.
I'm sure Swindon's a lovely place.
Yeah, looking for the ladies. Ray and Mesh. Yeah, no, I think it's worth that. It might be nothing, but we might get a hint of something. It's Microsoft a bit more next week, so we'll keep you informed from that next week.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, have you used xCloud yet or not? No. I know I'm probably the only one, haven't I?
Yeah, I've not got. I've signed up for it, but they didn't get back to me.
They've seen your streams.
Yeah, they just didn't reply. So I was a bit upset about that. But yeah,
it's a bit confusing for you, isn't it, in your old mind?
It is, yeah. I know I've got a... Yeah. You get free games with it, don't you?
I haven't looked at it for a little while, I have to be honest. Mainly because I played Gears 5 on my phone, and it's such a ball ache. Yeah. I just couldn't be bothered with it. I couldn't read the words. My eyesight isn't the best at the best of times. It was just too small. So I kind of gave up. But yeah, there's tons of games on there now.
Yeah.
So if you like a bit of mobile gaming and kind of you got an Xbox and you're sorted with xCloud.
Yeah, we'll find out more. Yeah. We'll find out more with the new one.
And obviously it's up against Google Stadia as well, which
is that still going?
I'm a big fan of. Yes, it is. Yeah, we've just got some new free games too. So
what have we got?
Cool. SteamWorld and SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Quest, I think it was, maybe.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it was.
Okay.
The SteamWorld Dig I loved on the Xbox. Yeah. It was a really good game. So if you've got Stadia, definitely play that one.
All right. Is anything new coming to the Stadia?
Oh, what, exclusive?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Spitlings turned up a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure if it was Stadia exclusive or not.
I've never heard of it.
But yeah, it's just like a little throwaway game.
Okay, Spitlins. Now, before we go, we're going to do a little feature, and we're going to talk about franchises of games that we like. We've already talked a little bit about Tour de France and Neil's love of that every year. Every year I definitely get a FIFA game, and I'll probably get an Assassin's Creed. That's my two big. Whatever happens, I'll get those two. But there's some franchises that maybe have missed this generation, and we were just thinking about franchises of games we'd like to see come back again for the new Xbox Series X. Any ones you can think of, Neil, that you'd like to see?
I would love to see Project Gotham Racing back.
Oh yeah,
because that went away when Forza became a thing. But there was nothing better than wall riding in PGR 2, possibly. Right. Oh, that was amazing. It was a brilliant racer.
What was wall riding?
Where you come to a corner and you just slam into it. Oh, sorry. That's me. Yeah, you come to a corner and you just slam into it with the throttle fully depressed, and you wouldn't have to bother braking, and you just ride all the way around the wall at full speed. Yeah, I know it was many years ago.
But I tell you what I remember from it. I do remember what I used to love is you could watch other people's games. Is that right? Live. It had a feature in it. You could just go. You could go. Yeah, you could see who else is playing. Not it could be your friends or it could be someone thing, and just watch, observe their game. Yeah. I really like that. I
can't remember, did it?
Yeah.
Or was it just at the end of the race?
I think it was a spectator mode. I think you could go and watch any game. Can we verify that?
Yeah, we'll verify that for next week.
Yeah, next week before we get people right in.
Yeah, I'll bow down to your judgment there.
Yeah, it was really good.
You could be right. Yeah.
And it was one that came out on the 360 first of all. It was one of the launch 360s, was it?
I want to say PGR was on the original Xbox. I think I really need to just Google that. So talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, have a look at that. I'll talk about what I'm looking for. Well, of course, there's an obvious one that I'm looking for. We haven't had a new Elder Scrolls on this generation. You've had Elder Scrolls Online that has hit and been very successful. But we've not had a new Elder Scrolls in this generation. We've just had variations of Skyrim that goes on forever. And we'll probably get a new Elder Scrolls on the new generation in the next couple of years, probably, because they know they announced they were making one.
They're a bit too big, though, aren't they?
They're not big. They're brilliant. What do you mean big? No, well, they are big. Yeah, there's a lot of hours.
They're too big for my liking. I'm playing Roundguard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I can play that in an hour, and that's me done.
I am missing a big game at the moment. I really feel like I haven't had a big game to play, like a huge one. Nothing's really come out the last 6 months, like a massive open world. Since Red Dead, really.
So you're up for another Elder Scrolls then?
Yeah, definitely. Something huge. That's what I'm looking for. That's why I was looking for the Cyberpunk so much. Yeah.
Yeah. I've just Googled Project Gotham Racing on the original Xbox. It wasn't until Gotham Racing 3 when it hit 360. So I'm thinking the best wall riding was probably in Racing 4, possibly.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a really good racer.
Really good.
And I'd love to see that because Forza was great. Forza Motorsport. And then 2, 3 were brilliant. 4, disappointing because, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, until they fix the bloody thing, the loading screens are ridiculous.
Gosh, yeah.
And you can sit there for 5 minutes easily in multiplayer waiting for something to happen. And then it starts changing a season and it takes the piss, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that really, really put me off of Forza Horizon 4. And even though Motorsport is slightly different, it's still the latest one, 7, wasn't quite as good as previous games. So
yeah. Any other games you think of that we missed of the franchise?
I'll go back to Peggle again. as we're on the Peggle.
Has there not been another Peggle on this? No, there hasn't, is there?
Peggle 1 and 2, that was it.
They need another Peggle.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So.
And there's obvious ones as well. Splinter Cell. That's kind of skipped this generation, isn't it?
Splinter Cell would be great, but again, only in my eyes if they go back to what Chaos Theory and Pandora Tomorrow were like.
Yeah.
Because they were the best Splinter Cells for me. I love them.
I think a lot of people would feel the same about it. I mean, I think everyone thought that it was sort of going to announce Splinter Cell this year, didn't they? At the last E3. Everyone had to, you know.
Maybe they're going to do it this E3.
Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe it's the next one. I think
they won't be, Gareth. We've already gone over this. E3's been cancelled.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot already. It was only half an hour ago.
At their digital event, they may open it with Sam Fisher's goggles. We never know.
It's hard with that.
Either that, or it'd be a Dance in the Hedgehog or something for Just Dance.
Can't you imagine they still do that dance routine, but to an empty audience? Like, just silence as they dance that whole routine through.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. No, Ubisoft, they probably will.
They probably will, yeah. I think they're going to do Assassins. That would be their opening thing. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's a good way of opening anything, isn't it, really?
Yeah, there's loads of kind of bits and bobs that I can think of. I really would like another. Remember the Battlefield, Battlefront 2? Is that right? No. What was the one?
Bad Company 2.
That's the one. I really enjoyed those Bad Company games.
Yeah, one of our writers, Paul, he's just done an opinion piece on that. It was looking back to 2010, I think it is. And Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out around about this time, 10 years ago. I'm sure it was 10 years. And he absolutely loved that game.
Yeah, it was fun. It was all destructible environments and just a much more jollier kind of, just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
The two characters were quite fun. They were like a little sort of thing going on. And yeah, I think that would be a good one to bring back.
It's all a bit serious now, isn't it, in the old shooter stakes? I know we've got Warzone now, Call of Duty Warzone.
We have, yeah.
Which, have you played it yet?
No.
I haven't played it yet.
No, I haven't done it. It was something that downloaded on my Xbox for about 80 gig or something. I don't remember. Yeah, I haven't got much space left, so I don't know if that.
Something downloaded. What could this be?
That's all I do is like I turn my Xbox on and just like you've got 8 downloads, downloading updates. I've got about,
please make space.
Yeah,
here we go again. Delete off FIFA, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Get rid of FIFA.
No, I'm looking to play Call of Duty Warzone only because I think I don't really want to say this, but I think I'm probably done with PUBG.
Really?
Which is disappointing because I'm absolutely loving it. But I can't win a game for love nor money. And I looked at my stats the other day and I've played 720 odd games. And I haven't won any. And I said to myself, if I get to 1,000 and I haven't won, I'm just going to delete it because there's no point. What is the flipping point, really? Playing 1,000 games and not winning anything. I've probably only come second like once or twice.
Well, we've gone off topic here. We've gone off topic. We're talking about franchise, but I like it.
That's fine.
My PUBG, when I play it, my achievements, I've got to get 100 kills for one achievement, right? I've been on 99 for about 4 months. I haven't made one kill. I can't do it. Yeah, so I'm with you on that probably.
Yeah, I have to say I'm getting better at killing people.
Yeah, you are.
I remember, I think it was our very first podcast back in whenever we started this, August, was it? Something like that, maybe? And one of my comments then was, I can't kill people. I've been playing it for like 3 years and I've only killed like 50 people. I'm getting good at killing people. It's just they're getting better at killing me at the same time. So,
right, to go us back on subject, I've got one more game.
Sorry,
yeah. On the 360, we had a game called Championship Manager, which was the original Football Manager that was on the Xbox 360. Do you remember this?
I know of Championship
Yeah.
Manager and Football Manager, yeah,
And
like everybody does.
That was on console. And then there was a massive debate about changing from Championship Manager to Football Manager between the developers. And then we never had a Football Manager on the console, especially on this generation of console at all. So I would love to see that whole very successful franchise go on to the new one. It'd be amazing. I don't know if it will. I think they can handle it, the new Xbox Series X. If that's
Again, we've got keyboard and mouse support.
Yeah.
A game like that cries out for keyboard and mouse. So there's no reason why not.
No.
But do people want to play that still on console? It's still a very niche PC type
I
thing.
think if you do it online, which the Championship at that time did, you could play against your friend or so. If you had that online, it would be really successful. Imagine that.
Maybe.
If you had us, all our friends, all our people we know, we could have a little league going.
But would you have to just sit there looking at stats?
Yeah, but that's the point.
Is that how it would work? It's not really that exciting.
Yeah, but we get to a game, me and you playing a game together. We'd be sort of watching it. Yeah, I think it would be fun.
Yeah. Do you know what my favourite Football Manager game was? It's LMA Manager 2005, was it maybe?
Yeah, they were on the...
2003 or 2005, something like that?
Yeah, they were on the PS2 and Xbox, weren't they? The original one.
I think I had it on the original Xbox. They were really good.
Yeah, they were really good. Yeah.
They were. And that was at a time in my life when I was a lot younger, like nearly 20 years younger. Right. And I was looking for excitement. And instead I was playing LMA Manager. Now I'm getting old and I just want to kind of sit down, put my feet up, and I don't really want to play them type of games. So it's weird.
Well, there you go. You ruined my dreams.
Yeah. Well, that would be a good one. Yeah.
That would be good. So if you've got one, of course, email us. Not email us. They're not going to email us, are they?
You can email us if you want. Yeah. Gareth Briley at I don't know what I'm doing.com.
You can go on Twitter at the Xbox Hub, or you can go onto our YouTube channel and leave a comment after you've seen this thing. And leave a comment and say what you would like, what franchise you'd like to see come back.
Yeah, and we'll mention you next week.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we go, because we've got to go, what are you looking forward to next week?
Pretty much Doom Eternal.
It's got to be. I think that's mine as well. Yeah, and we played it, didn't we? You played it, and I watched you at the EGX thing, which we talked about.
Yeah.
So we've seen it in action. And even though I said at the time, I only got halfway through the first one before I gave up. I still really want to play this one now. It looks quite exciting.
I'm seriously, because I'm like you, I never finished the first one. I say the first one. I finished the first one back in whenever it was, 1993. I haven't finished the rebooted one, and I'm very, very tempted to go back and start again and play it.
Yeah, I am as well. Exactly.
Just so I can go and play Eternal. Yeah. And normally something like that doesn't bother me. I'll just pick up a game and just play it anyway. I don't care why I'm playing it. But I'm very, very tempted.
Yeah, I was thinking. And is it on Game Pass? I think it is, isn't it, Doom?
No. Oh, the original one?
No, the one that came out a few years ago.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I wouldn't like to say yes or no.
Is. I'm going to go on the record and say yes.
Okay. You've been right already once today.
Yes, I'm going to shout from the rooftops.
Yeah,
okay, right.
And you were right the other week.
Yeah,
like
I was.
A week ago.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're right again. Including Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get on that.
And even if you don't have that, it's only 15 quid, so that's a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good game. Yeah, it's a good plan. I'm going to do that. Okay, brilliant. I don't think there's anything else at the moment. I can't think of any other games that come. I think that's the one, isn't it?
There's some bits and bobs, and I know if James was here, he'd be going, "Oh, My Hero 1's Justice 2's coming out."
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is either.
But there's lots of people who like it.
Yeah, James being one of them. Now, hopefully, if he's well enough next week, he'll be back and he can tell us all about it.
He can tell us all about it. Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
Well, Neil, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
No
Where can they get hold of you if they want to chat to you or send you something?
Well, I pick up all the Xbox Hub stuff. So on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at the Xbox Hub, and on YouTube. My personal stuff is Neil363 on Instagram, basically. So.
And you can get me on GB Bridie. But also, if you're on Apple and you listen to the podcast and you like it, please just leave a comment and put those stars up. It's really helpful for us. Really appreciate it. Subscribe. All right, Neil, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you next week or whenever you're back. Are you back next week?
Oh, I might turn up.
Oh, good. I like it. We'll see who's left standing.
Maybe not. I don't know. I might have another week off.
Right, brilliant. On that note, I will see you all later on. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.